what we want to do is really see how we can tap into underused spaces in storefronts. So the Storefront Transformer, there are 4 components. One is the stage sets, so people basically can use it for performance. One is the table and partition set. Basically, people can hang things on it at the same time as use it as a tabletop. There's the display and bench set, which basically is where people can display products at the same time as use it as benches for lectures and events. So all the units are modular and very sort of versatile, and they can sort of use it in many different ways. So we successfully funded our Kickstarter campaign. We actually, the set that you see behind me is actually the prototype version, the money that we funded to make this set of furnishings. So we're kind of in the midst of our funded Kickstarter project to showcase what Miles want to support. We're in day 2 of the second week of Blood, Sweat, and Fears, and we had an opening last night, and it really showcases how our Storefront Transformer units can actually be used.
So I went to Central St. Martin's and studied fashion communication and promotion, and for our thesis project we were given the brief of creating a magazine. I just spent a year living in New York working in experiential advertising, and when we were given this brief I was like, I want to do something different. I want to create an event. I want to build a community where people are interacting with the magazine and people become the magazine. And so that's where Blood, Sweat and Fears was born. We wanted to work together for a few months, and then the Kickstarter campaign came up, and I was just overwhelmed to be a part of it. So I reached out to a number of different artists and my creative community over here, and started to test the water for who would be interested. But it wasn't really until we were funded, the Kickstarter campaign was actually funded, that we could press go. So it was kind of pedal to the metal for the last 3 weeks. Had a couple of people join on at the last minute, and it all worked out. So the launch was last night, and it went fantastically. We had a crowd all night. Everyone really enjoyed the artwork, and introduced this concept to a lot of people who weren't familiar with the platform.
We're going to move to a coffee shop next week, so untapping the nighttime unused space of a coffee shop, and so that would be very interesting. So week 4 basically is we'll be using a much smaller space where we're showcasing a nonprofit space at Tompkins, where they will be serving homeless individuals and cooking up Thanksgiving meals for them during the week of Thanksgiving. And then after that, we'll be, from week 5 to week 7, we'll be using a vacant storefront at very likely Allen Street. The 7 weeks is really sort of really a showcase of how we're tapping different underused spaces in very different ways.
I think that change starts right here. We should be looking on our doorstep and looking to our neighbours for social good and for change, and that's exactly what Miles are doing.